So first priority is the business impact.
Right.
So we'll see what the impact on a business. First of all, we have to be running the infrastructures. Uptime should be the 100%. If it's not 100%, means so your some things is missing your KRAs.
The next generation of CIOs who would be, shaping the tech landscape and the business impact as well.
See, if we talk about the looking ahead as in the CIO, so
Right.
there is still the things are missing with respect to CIO. The fewer or the bigger one is doing that activity because every CIO has become to technology in a commercial activities like finance ho gaya, production ho gaya, but still they need to work on like in the industry 4.0.
Hi, you're watching The Mainstream. I am Simran Shiwalkar, your host for today, and this is the latest episode from our exclusive series called The Voice of CIO. Today, we are joined by yet another visionary leader in the tech space, Mr. Rajeev Singhania. He is the Group Chief Information Officer at BC Jindal Group. Firstly, Mr. Singhania, thank you so much for joining us and being a part of this episode.
Thank you, Simran, to give me a chance to become a voice of your channel.
Absolutely,
And
sir.
really appreciates in a change environment, we require the things to be more cascading down the line, which actually is not happening as on date.
Right.
Because
right.
the everybody is looking, the CIO is something else. Because the CIO is a concept of the multinational companies. If
Right.
you'll see into the Indian environment, there is no CIO at all.
Right.
So our designations will be GM, VP, AVP. In fact, I'm a VP IT over here, along with taking care of the cybersecurities, ERPs, software developments, infrastructures, communication. So down the lines, we have the team to manage the things. But of course, during this time, the role of the CIO has been changed.
Right. It has gone beyond your traditional IT roles. There are a lot of responsibilities added to a CIO's role today, what we see. From your perspective, what are the recent changes that you have seen from what used to be earlier and what is it now?
Simran, if you will see at a time of starting our career, so that time the company means the big companies hire to the IT people, they will develop the program to them because neither we have the big infrastructures nor we have in the transactional level of this time. So at the initial phase, the transactions was very low, which is managed on a DBMS, then came into the RDBMS. So the data management is going drastically changed during this period.
Right.
And for this data management, the multiple locations, multiple sites are there. So the infrastructures also the come up.
Correct.
And during this, you see a revolution in the communication sectors. So initially we have taken the desktop, then came into the laptop, now came into the mobile activities and all the things as the cloud based. So these are the major changes during this period when we started these things. Although in India, if you'll see, the courses has been started 85, 87 onwards. So I completed my MCA in 95. So during that period, the people were asked me ke either do it the engineering or doctoring that you are doing in the computers. So during that phases, the computers was not known to everyone. It was you can say the luxurious items for the bigger companies where they have started to manage their data or the volume of these things. But now it's a necessity of everybody's life. If you see, आप किसी को ना मोबाइल 2 घंटे के लिए ऑफ करा दीजिए, तो he will find कि he has the plenty of time.
Absolutely. That's one thing. And, when we talk about today's tech landscape in a very capital intensive, operation driven industry, we have seen a lot of technologies coming into the picture: AI, Gen AI, agentic AI as well, cybersecurity at the same time evolving on its own. As a leader, what priorities do you focus on to ensure that technology delivers a meaningful business impact at the same time?
See, in your questions, you have given the solutions also. So first priority is the business impact.
Right.
So we'll see what the impact on a business. First of all, we have to be running the infrastructures. Uptime should be the 100%. If it's not 100%, means so your some things is missing your KRAs.
Right.
Now come to the ERP sites, because any of the operations, any bigger companies, those are using the ERP, they cannot run their business without IT.
Right.
Now there is lot of things are applicables if you are making an invoice. So during this invoice, you need in the QR code from the government portals. So it goes to the portal on a government, then making the e-invoice, e-way bill. So so many government portals are applicable to this. If you are making in the 100 invoice on a day, so you cannot be imagine, okay, I can be write it or make it to the manual.
Correct.
So, with respect to the businesses, with respect to the government compliances, you need the combination of technology into the operations.
Right.
So, without continuity of the technology, you can be leverage business by the technology to smoothening day-to-day activities.
Correct.
If we'll talk about in especially to my industries, so we are doing in the 100% advance. So at the time of the invoicing, my systems will check either we have received the payments, we have cleared the accounts or not. Otherwise, the systems will stop you.
Right.
And even because this is in the commodity business, so we have take an order of X amount, but at a time of invoicing, it becomes the X plus one or X minus one, whatever be it.
Right.
So it will take at a time of the invoicings, which is manually is not possible.
Right.
So the business continuity is one of things. Now we come to the other aspects of the IT. Earlier, the cyber securities was not in the so much threats as on today. So the ransomwares and other attackers are regularly pitching to cyber attacks to your organizations.
Right.
So where they can be now the style of the ransomware, first they have to attack, steal your data, and then demanding the money for that. So you need the IT governance with respect to the cyber securities, infrastructures, and of course to the business continuity of the ERPs.
Right. With that background, you've already given a glimpse of the evolving role of CIO and how CIOs today are also responsible for driving a lot of business initiatives, business impact as well. Talk about digital transformation, which is much about people and platforms both. How do you drive adoption and alignment across teams whenever there is a large scale initiative, whenever there is a large change or a project for that matter?
See, if you see the adoption is really a challenging to all the CIOs.
Right.
Any new technology when you bring to the organizations, so the resistance from the users is the prime focus to that.
Right.
So if we'll talk about the 10 years or 12 years, 15 years back when we implement the ERPs, so the users was threatening that we are abolishing their jobs because all of the ERP providers or some things they told to the managements you will reduce the manpower or some things. But although it's not been happening because we need the people, we need the team to operate the business,
correct,
to run the business. So, but the today's scenario, CIO is visionary where we can be smoothening to our operations, where we can be plugged to our loopholes into the businesses with respect to the technology.
Right.
So, last 2 to 3 years, everybody is talking about AI, Gen AI, agentic AI. So, although we are also working on the AI, we have made our platforms, Jindal Gen AI, where we have given to all the peoples. So, the benefit of this, the people are suppose reading any documents or some things which takes 3 to 4 hours or maybe even a day, which they are getting in a seconds or minutes. They are writing a mail, they are writing any contents, they are making any projects sheet or some things, they are drafting any things. So of course, so this is the one change. Another, if we go 5 to 6 years or 10 years back, then the RPA was there. So we have implemented the RPA as well to see the capability improvement or the productivity enhancement for the organizations. But the adaptability, again, the challenges of this. The people wants to adopt only these things which they thinks it is a beneficially to us.
Correct.
For this adoptions, we make always be the change management in the organizations where we have
Right.
to involve all the key stakeholders of the organizations on the same platforms or a same tables, what the
Right.
beneficiaries to them and how the technology leverage their work
Right.
instead of putting these things. So artificial intelligence is one of them. If you'll see since
Right.
last 20 years, the business intelligence tools was available in the market. So lot of changes, lot of requirements time to times coming from this aspects. Earlier, what is happening, initially when we developed the programs, the systematically change into the market. Initially, the maximum companies hire to a programmers to at their roles. Then they becomes the outsource.
Right.
We'll hire an agency who will develop the program. Only the people will manage ourselves. And then later came to the ERPs, where the bigger ERP visit to each other and ease of doing job day-to-day activities.
With that said, firstly, thank you so much for throwing some light on that key aspect, Mr. Singhania. When we talk about the future, looking ahead, maybe 10 years down the line, what is your vision as a CIO today with the next phase of IT, the next phase of AI, perhaps the next phase of digital growth, maybe from your industry, especially at Jindal Groups, or what guidance would you offer or any advice, key recommendations perhaps to the next generation of CIOs who would be shaping the tech landscape and the business impact as well?
See, if we talk about the looking ahead as on the CIO, so
Right.
there is still the things are missing with respect to CIO. The fewer or the bigger one is doing that activity, because every CIO has become to technology in a commercial activities like finance ho gaya, production ho gaya, but still they need to work on like in the industry 4.0 agentic AI. So the governance and the compliance parts for the OT and the IT integration. So this is the upcoming challenges or the upcoming time to coming to the integrations between the IT and OT. So because we have the cyber security threats, so nobody wants to be hampering their business on a 1 hour basis, on a hourly basis, because if we'll get any impact on the cyber securities or something, so it can be destroy the entire activity of our productions or something if we'll integrate this IT OT.
Right.
Although the zero trust is theirs, anything is theirs, but still attackers are more ahead than the solutions provided into the market.
Right.
If you see everywhere, the Siemens and even high-tech companies are getting affected by the cyber securities. Recently, the example of the airport, you have seen CrowdStrike के अंदर कुछ हुआ and the entire airport has shut down. So nobody wants to be take this
Correct.
exercise. So the cyber securities in coming time is going to be a threat to all the CIOs, which impact to their activities. Although the cloud migration has been adopted largely into the organization, 10 साल पहले अगर हम बात करते हैं, तो the people were thinking the security will be the challenge or these the points, but still they have to adopt the cloud migrations is there. And same thing is happening into the SOC-based or NOC-based solutions for the cyber securities to make it advanced threatening to the organizations. But still, yes, but still there is something missing. But if we talk about the aspiring CIO, as you are asking, the guidance is, first of all, they have to understand the business deeply, because we are the solution provider and we can be provider solutions once we understand the business. Abhi, as on date, what is happening? The people are looking into the infrastructures. Okay, we have seen the technical part of ERP or some things, but now the CIO evaluationally change. If you want to be the visionary, so you need the business first. As on date, we have the technical consultant and the functional consultants. We will become the techno-commercial.
Right.
So we, as in the CIO, we have to be cover both the aspects, technical as well as to the business. Once we understand the business, then only we can be provide a solution to the management, to the key stakeholders, what they are. If we're talking about the process improvements, if we do not know the process, so how can we giving them the improvements? Technology, how the technology can help your process.
Right.
Otherwise, the people wants is, nahi, main to ye kar raha hu, this is the best.
Right.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So any outcomes come from the business point of view. As on date, or the IT becomes the secondary part or the cost centers of the any organizations, because it is not in the direct earning department where you can say it's a direct earning. So indirect earning, you have to show to the management that yes, this is the earnings from the management. So nowadays the ERP is also given the ROI, because without ERP, nobody can run their businesses. ERP means any of the softwares where we are making this entire show. Balance innovations, the AI is upcoming next 10 years. So the
It is going to
AI will
define the
be
next 10 years for sure.
yes, of course. So especially for the CIOs, first of all, they have to understand the business. Then they can be linked with the technology to the business. Then only they can give the solutions. And
Right.
third one's the innovations they have shown to the management or shown to the company where we are taking organizations technically rather than driven.
Absolutely.
So strengthening governance, securities, resilience, these should be a criteria to a CIO.
To the next generation of CIOs.
Not to the next, is this
But the
this
current
generation
CIOs as
yes.
well. Absolutely. I think that's very well put. And thank you so much, Mr. Rajiv, for sharing your perspectives and sharing your own, business practices and recommendations in today's episode. I think it is very critical to understand, like you said, to understand the technical, the IT part of it, but also grasp the business side of many organizations today. Thank you once again for this dialogue. And while we wrap up, I most certainly look forward to connect with you again.
Thank you, Simran.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.